Likewise.
We alive, we here, we're doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get a dope crib, holla at my boy. And I really mean that. Get a crib, get a property, invest. Family, please do not buy dumb stuff. Invest in great stuff the long term. I know we live in a culture of like, we live in life right now, let's pop like tomorrow I'm gonna live. That's
don't regret it later on.
Don't like actually wake up the next morning and like, oh, I'm still alive, I can still do this? Yeah, you can. The journey of knowing thyself begins in the cradle and ends in the grave. One way to capture those moments of ourself can be found in the shelf. Shelves have been around since the creation of ancient scrolls. My name is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and I'm a father, teacher, world traveler, and coach. Join me as we explore together the stories of our shelves. This is Know Thyself.
Watch this.
Peace, beautiful family. This is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and this is the Know Thyself podcast. The Know Thyself podcast utilizes the metaphor of the shelf to extrapolate the self. And the way we do that is we invite guests to come in to share something about themselves. Before I introduce the guest, this is episode numero 34 of the catalog. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, you know what I'm saying? So this is dope. Shout out to our sponsors. I want to shout out Valerio, shopvalerio.com. I got the glasses, Jack. You gotta get these, you know what I'm saying? Because these are your kind of style, you feel me? So definitely check them out. Use the promo code SHELF25 to get a 25% discount. We got you, Jay. You know what I'm saying? I also want to shout out Steve, my brother. He has the 2020 collections. Definitely check out his gear. And shout out to the God Emilio. I'm wearing his hat. The highly living, yo. Because that's the only way we live. You feel me? Alright. So, the other thing that we always do in the Know Thyself podcast is we like to shout out a group of people. You know what I'm saying? And today I want to shout out the hustlers. If you're watching, you see why. I want to shout out the musicologists. I want to shout out those who are constantly evolving and changing it up in the game. Because today I have with me somebody that I love, that I respect, that I admire, that I've known for a very long while. My brother from another, DJ Cadillac Jack.
Yes, sir.
What's good? With the God.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, brother.
Where we at? We in what city we in?
We in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Yo, shout out to Rhode Island. We are AKA my home state, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here, I'm in the comfort zone, you know?
Yeah.
My brother, Jack, I've known you since high school, yo.
Yeah,
We've known each other for a minute.
For a while.
You know what I mean? And for us to, I always tell people, when you have that level of longevity with someone, that's a blessing for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? The fact that we're here, we're still building, we're healthy. If we were to jump, you ever seen that movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures?
Yeah.
If we were to jump on Bill and Ted's Adventures to go into a younger Jack, where we would go? What would we see? Give us your background, Jack.
Like how much younger we?
Oh, we're talking about where you grew up, where you from, your background, your ethnic background, your upbringing, etc.
For sure, man. So, I was born in America, first generation, born in Providence, to two Cape Verdean parents.
Yo, shout out to Cape Verde.
Yeah, shout out to my Cape Verdeans, you know what I mean? And, man, so my family, parents, aunts, uncles, they all migrated from Cape Verde. So me and my cousin, sister, we're all like first generation Cape Verdeans. Grew up in between Providence and Kentucky, Rhode Island. And '80s baby, you know, grew up in the '80s.
Yes, sir.
You know, Skippies, you know.
You know,
Yep. These kids nowadays, they don't know how spoiled they are, but
exactly.
great era though, great era to grow up in. You know, yeah, man, it was fun. Grew up around a lot of family. You know, I have a big family.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, man, it was cool. You know, I didn't grow up with much money, but it didn't really matter. You know? We had love, support. We had fun. We had parties. You know.
And let me interject real quick, because I think it's important. You know, I'm a history fanatic, and I don't think, speaking specifically to geography, people don't know where Cabo Verde is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Cabo Verde, you know, I'll let you speak on this, but there's a huge population of Cabo Verdeanos here in New England. And I heard there's actually a big population in Jersey. Someone once told me that too. It's interesting. So talk to us about Cabo Verde, because I think people are a little bit ignorant that and not understanding the influence that Cape Verdeans have in a variety of capacities, hip hop, fashion, all that.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, anybody in America that's outside of New England, Mass, and Rhode Island probably never heard of Cape Verdeans, you know, but Cape Verde Islands, it's 10 islands right off the west coast of Africa, you know, close to Senegal. And, you know, Cape Verdeans migrated all over Europe, different parts of Africa, mostly Senegal, Guinea, Angola, Mozambique. And then as far as America, we all ended up in Massachusetts and Rhode Island somehow, you know. But, yeah, man, and like you said, there is a small community in Brooklyn, Newark, New Jersey,
right?
And then Yonkers, you know, that's where. And I have family in all three places.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But you know, there's a nice little community, but it's not like here, so you might not. You know, even if you're from those places, you might have not heard of them. You know?
Because the thing is, it's like y'all camouflage.
We blend in.
They think you're Latino, they think you're black, because it's like you're part of the diaspora.
Exactly.
And people aren't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a melting pot of a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all stood out and y'all deep out here too. You know what I'm saying? One of the ways I know you is in the DJing scene. You know what I'm saying? You've been DJing for a minute.
Yeah.
How was that introduced to you? How did that come into your life?
So I was pretty much a hip hop baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, grew up in the '80s. You know. So you know, it was something I would see outside. You know, my older cousins on the cardboard. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to break dance. You know, trying to be like them or whatever. And yeah, man, I was just always exposed to the culture. I remember my mother actually brought me to my first hip hop show.
Oh,
so she was like,
shout out to mom.
Yeah, shout out to my dudes, cause it's interesting, cause most of my cousins or friends, right, their parents were like very old fashioned Cape Verdeans, but my mother's like the youngest of like 8 or 9.
Wow.
And my father's the second youngest, so they came at an age, they were teenagers, so there was a blend of the traditional Cape Verde and America, you know. They were into you know, Earth, Wind and Fire and the Funkadelics and all that. So they were pretty hip. Cape Verde band. They spoke good English, you know. So yeah, they were cool with the hip hop, especially the '80s hip hop. They were open to it, and yeah, my mother brought me to my first hip hop show in the '80s. It was at the Providence Civic Center.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And I remember going to the show. I might have been 5, 6 years old. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember that day perfect, and I believe it was like the Fat Boys and
shout out to the Fat Boys.
DMC. It was like Curtis Blow, like all the '80s cats, man. But so that's pretty much how it started. And as far as DJ, man, like I was always attracted to it ever since like I can remember seeing it on TV. Whether it was, Run DMC, Jam Master Jay, just seeing it on the videos, like the scratching, there was something about
you were impressed
the
by
scratch.
it.
I was impressed, and I knew from a child I wanted to do it. I knew from a young age I wanted to be a DJ, and it was only a matter of time once I was old enough to work, got a job. My whole motivation was to buy turntables.
What?
So, yeah, man, that's how that came about.
Yeah, and who are some of your influences that you looked up to? Did you have any?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Truthfully, my first, introduction to it was, like I said, was on television. But my influences really came from the local DJs. Because it's like a real life, It's like, man, somebody from around my way is doing it. I can do it too.
Yeah.
So it made it more realistic for me. So it was all the legends, man. Like DJ Lefty was.
That's the first person I think of. Yo.
Yeah,
Shout out to DJ Lefty.
Shout out to Lefty.
Legend.
Legend, man. And he's also Cape Verdean American.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah. So he would be DJing a lot of the Cape Verdean parties I would go to with my mother. And he'd be spinning the Cape Verdean tunes. But he'll always have his turntables and a few creative records. And he would just, have the hip hop segment where he would be going off at the Cape Verdean parties.
Dope.
Lefty was one of the first big influences.
And a lot of people don't know, if I may cut you off real quick, tell them why they call him DJ Lefty.
So he has no left hand, you know what I'm saying? And he's amazing, man, like he DJs like he has 3 hands,
That's what I'm saying, no matter what in life,
yeah.
That's a prime example, man.
Exactly.
That's such a beautiful thing, yo.
Exactly, man. So it was the local cats for me. Fred the Great.
Oh, shout out to Fred, DJ Fred the Great,
DJ
legend, DJ Buck.
And then,
and Pooh, yo.
Huh?
And Pooh, yo. DJ Pooh.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Yo, Nocturnal, shout out to Nocturnal, all them cats.
Yeah, I was so impressed by all of you.
The hip hop, the DJ scene in Rhode Island was big. It was in the 90s, it was crazy.
Yeah.
The mixtape game was crazy out here. So,
yo, shout out to DJ Raw too, yo.
Shout out to Raw.
Yo, so many, like, it was like, that's why the parties were endless at that era. Party over here, party over here. This was DJ, and y'all got it. And you would think it was, yo, it's so crazy, man. It was really a movie.
Yeah,
it was really movies, man. The house parties were
crazy.
no code.
Yeah.
I think, the other thing with DJing is we sometimes forget there's so many layers to it. There's promotion, there's practice. You know what I'm saying? There's so many pieces to it. What's some advice or tidbits you can give to those that are looking to become the DJ?
Okay. Well, DJing today is completely different from when I started,
That's a fact.
It's totally different, man. And
do folks even use turntables? Like, that's like
not
rarity.
Really. Yeah, it's rare. Controllers are very popular right now. They're very light. It's all in one. It's like a mixer and 2 turntables all in one. Those are very popular. But you do see people use turntables still. But it's definitely there. Now people use MP3s, laptops.
Yeah.
Back then we were at the record store every week blowing our paycheck, to build our record collections. But excuse me. As far as advice, practice, you know what I'm saying? Be prepared, know your music, and the key thing to being a great DJ is knowing how to read your audience. I think that's something that I feel like it's lost, today's generation.
That's interesting. Speak on that a little bit, because for me, it's like, as someone that admires the DJ and it's been both behind the booth and as someone that was dancing, like, you gotta feel the crowd out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If they loving this reggae right now,
keep it going. Yeah, keep it going for a little bit. and know how to transition out of it. You know, so
exactly.
these are things that I feel like a lot of DJs for my age or older, like it kind of came natural to us. I feel for me it was natural. It took one party for me to like mess up and people walk off the dance floor to figure it out. It took one party. And, it's very important, but I feel like these younger DJs, not to diss them, there's a lot of great young DJs, but I feel like they don't understand that concept. They kind of just play whatever. They might have a playlist and they just follow it. And, but that's a great. It's a great element. To me, it's the most important element in the party element of it.
Exactly. And like many DJs, or like anyone nowadays especially, you can't depend on one thing alone. You know what I'm saying? You gotta diversify. Because a DJ requires so many skills such as promotion, discipline, practice, being there on time, all these things that are super important, like any work dynamic. You're not also DJing, my dude. You're also doing the real estate too. Okay?
Yes.
And
man.
First of all, talk to us about that transition too, because I know you didn't necessarily late to rest DJ. I'm pretty sure at any given time when you're ready, you go in. But talk to us about this transition because we want to segue into this other part that I think is important, which is ownership. You know what I'm saying? Among other things. So talk to us about this transition, Jack.
Yeah, man. So I had dedicated a lot of my life to DJing. It was my passion at the time. But then I just, I got to a point, I was getting older and, I just started growing mentally and it was just time for me to find that next thing, And once I made that decision that I was going to find that next thing being something I can, make some money,
Right, speak on it, yeah.
And make a decent living, because DJing, it's unless
you're
on
at
a certain level, it's tough, man. Yeah. And I was, basically at a point where I was just searching. I was searching for that next thing, I always was interested in learning in real estate as far as the investment side. I never imagined me being an agent. And so there was I'm on Indeed looking for some part-time work, and there was a small brokerage right around the corner from where I was living at the time that was looking for an assistant, So at this time I wanted a job that I could learn from. I was looking into the future. I wasn't doing it just for the money. So I'm like, that would probably be cool. It's right around the corner. I can learn more about real estate. And about 4 months in, I got the job. 4 months in, I was like, I love this. This is what I want to do. And I went and got my license. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. So.
That's so dope. Cause hold up, Jack. Let me check this thing. That's That's what I'm talking about. Because the reason I'm saying that is because it's interesting, particularly around this time, it's a great opportunity to. The moral of the story is you never stop learning, and there's always opportunities waiting for you right there. So the excuse game right now, particularly for millennials as we are and post millennials, is that we're gonna find a way. And the traditional 9 to 5 is not really our style. We're looking to get the biggest bang for our buck, doing what we love, and knowing that it's in some way or fashion helping someone in the community, but bringing it back full circle to your family, to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So talk to us about real estate now, because this is not new or different. We were talking offline, like DJ Envy, shout out to DJ Envy. He's really big on the real estate game. But really, at the end of the day, any business-minded person that's looking to expand their portfolio must include real estate.
I highly recommend.
Yeah, fact though, right, Jack?
I highly recommend.
Why is that? For the lay person that doesn't understand what I just said.
For me, what I learned is the most simple and easiest way to build wealth. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have a high, IQ.
Right.
Just invest in rental units.
Mm-hmm.
Let your tenants pay off the mortgage.
Speak on it. Yep.
And bro, you're sitting on 6 figures on one property.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend it, man. You wanna retire comfortable, simple, man. Just start investing in some properties, man.
Yeah, I think it's not. The conversation is not stop spending money on stupid stuff, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm with my brother right now. We grown men, and all that stuff is cute for a little while, while, because time flies. And when you get older, or shall I say less young, because we still look good,
yeah, exactly.
is the fact that you want to be at a position where you have something tangible that you can sit on and not feel like you have to scrap everything.
Exactly.
Because how can you impact the community if you yourself are struggling?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So this is very important for our communities. This is very important. So what are the steps for someone to get into the real estate game, Jack? What do you recommend?
Well, so there's different elements, right? So right now I'm a real estate agent. I'm a realtor. So I'm helping people buy and sell homes. So that was my introduction into the game. So that's what I'm doing, and then eventually, I'll get in. So you have the realtor side, right? Then you have the investment side. So there's buying and holding, rental units, and then there's flipping. Then you got you got the mortgage side. Being a loan officer.
Yep.
Closing loans. So there's many
property
different
management too.
Property management.
Goes so deep.
Exactly. So there's so many different elements in real estate. But at the moment, I'm a realtor. So that's what I'm doing, and I eventually want to get into investing as well.
You know what I always think about, because we hip hop, right? There's a line from Cameron where it says something like, if you think I make money off rhyming, I don't think so. Something like that. You remember that?
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you think he was doing? Like, we gotta be very serious about this. Like, we can't put our eggs all in one basket, man. And these are really, because we can go really deep, because the investment you turn, the interest rate, all these other things. Like, don't just think putting money in a bank is enough, family. Like, you gotta spread that dollar in different places, so while you're sleeping, you're making more money.
Yeah.
That's the dream. And you know what? Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper is an investor.
Exactly. They all are.
Right? Didn't Jay-Z what he said? Like, if I had invested in Dumbo, I would have got more money. Now I'm a Dumbo. I mean, I'm misquoting a lot of lyrics right now, but this is true talk, right?
Like Jay-Z could be your landlord and you don't even know it.
Wow, Jem's right now. Super jet. You could be sitting on someone's property, you're like, oh, this is ASAP's fur? Yeah. Yes, it is, yo.
Yeah.
So let's be very serious about that. I think that's so important. So what are important gems and tips that you would give someone that's going into this business, right? What are some things that they should know, some ins and outs of the game, to be more preventative, particularly for the younger folk that want to get into this game?
Yep. So, I mean, as far as the investing side, for someone who wants to purchase a property, the first step is making sure your credit's right.
Yes.
Credit is everything, man. Without that, it's going to be hard for you to do.
It's a fact.
And a lot of us got messed up credit. You know what I'm saying?
From the hood, man. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
If you have credit at all.
Yeah.
If you're the rubber band man, just never really created a line for yourself.
Exactly. This is why I talk to a lot of DJs. I know DJs that are living off of it. And they'll talk to me about, how would I be able to purchase if, I DJ. I'm like, you gotta start treating your DJ business like an actual business. Claim what you're making and pay taxes. That's the only way,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be able to get approved for a loan. You need proof of income and you need good credit. Those are the two major things.
Clean house, man. There's a Dr. Jordan Peterson, shout out. He always talks. He has a, God, I'm forgetting the name of the book, I think it's 12 steps. I don't remember, but one of the things he says is clean your house first before you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You gotta clean the house, you gotta fix the credit, you gotta start your own credit, buy something out, you know what I'm saying? But also realize that family, the other thing is this, shout out to Gary Vee. I know you know Gary.
Oh
Vee.
yeah,
I love that dude, yo, because he talks a lot about this, yo. It's just so important. And shout out to my dad. We were talking about my dad too, yo, because I feel like he's the last of the American dream that really utilized real estate. You know, back then, remember that story they say when they were selling houses for like $1?
Yeah, bro. And nobody was buying them, bro.
And we were just like, yo, mom and dad, have me suing them. Like, I would have just been like, okay, let's do this.
Never see that again.
Never see it again. And now, who knows? People are fighting for property in space now. Like, it's like, and this is very real talk. The moral of the story, family, is that it's very important that as part of, you know, I recommend the book, oh my God, I mentioned it too earlier while running blank. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
I recommend that book. I remember reading that book, and that was one of the several that really said to me, like, hey, listen, one of the things that I need to do to secure myself, my family, is to own property, one way or another. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you create a legacy, yo.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is no different than writing a book and DJing, creating sound.
Yep.
You are literally creating a space for yourself and your family for generations to come.
Exactly.
So I want to transition, Jack. Now that, you know, thank you for those gems, super important. By the way, Jack, where can people find you? You're a realtor. What's your information so people, if they want to holler at you?
Yeah, you can just check my website. It's MrJackSantos.com. That's MrJack Santos.com, and you can reach me from there. My social media links, email, phone, it's all there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, again, that's why we be thinking Cape Verdeanos is Latinos,
Yeah,
but
we
they're
got
like
the same
Santos.
last name. They look alike, yeah.
Whatever Latino is, I feel like, you know, I don't like these terms and stuff like that. But it's funny because also shout out to my Cape Verdean people, because wow, definitely some beautiful people. That's all I'm gonna say. And for those that know me and we know each other, we'll leave it at that. COVID. I want to talk about COVID. I've been talking to people about COVID.
Yeah.
Where's Jack's head been at during this situation? Because, you know, we were talking off camera about, you know, one of the people I was thinking about and praying for was the DJs, or anybody in the entertainment business, or just hustling, our side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Many have had to take a hold and et cetera, et cetera. But where was your head during COVID and et cetera?
You know, just like everybody else, I think everybody who's alive, this is probably the first time we experienced something like this. So I was scared, just like everybody else. You know, not knowing what to expect, what was gonna happen. It was pretty crazy, man. I was more worried about the real estate side of things, because that's my bread and butter right now. And luckily, real estate, you know, it kept going. It didn't shut us down. So that was a blessing. You know, it might have slowed down a little bit.
Sure.
As far as the entertainment side, that just shut down completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was you know, I got into real estate at a great time, because had I been dependent on that DJ check,
different story.
That would have been rough. And I know a lot of people who live off DJing, so that's tough. If you're not prepared, you didn't have money saved.
Speak on it.
You know,
it connects to the real estate stuff we're talking about. You feel me?
Having, you know, diversified, you know, income, and, you know, saving, investing, all that's important. And I think a lot of people realized that once COVID hit, they realized, can't just be blowing my money. I gotta at least save it. I gotta, you know, it woke a lot of people up.
Speak on it.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, it was crazy. The entertainment game just shut down. Luckily, real estate kept going, so I was able to, you know, survive, man, through it.
That's right.
Right now, things, at least in Rhode Island, are looking pretty good. People are kind of out there living their life,
Fact, yeah.
wearing their masks. Lounges are starting to open up, you know, so DJs are slowly starting to get back and, you know, do their thing. And real estate is booming out here, bro.
That's a fact. It is interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We thought it was gonna die out, and it's like booming, you know.
But you know, for me, at the same time, I have to critique it at the same time, because although we were praising it, because it's a very interesting dichotomy, because on the one hand that's happening, but in the other it's like people are unemployed, people are like losing jobs, and people are like, you know, it's an interesting shift. So you see a clear manifestation of the haves and have-nots, because if you have it, you know how to push it and move it and real estate. But you know what, honestly, that's a slight critique, but at the same time, it goes back to what we talked about. Had you saved, had you put your dollars in the right place, had you done the continuing education, you would be prepared, because that's the mind of a hustler. You know what I'm saying? That we always adapting to the world. Especially, you know, for me, like, Jack, I'm not surprised, right? Because coming from the hood, and when you come from struggle and you've seen a lot, you realize like what's important. You know what I'm saying? You realize you're gonna do anything to make it, and you're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And this COVID was a different situation. You know what I'm saying? It really shook us up.
Yeah, this was worldwide, man.
Yeah, it was like, yo, what's going on? It's something that we only read in, you know, books and watching movies.
Exactly.
But it's a wake up call that, hey, you know, I'm hoping folks took the same direction as you as far as like getting that continued. A lot of people, I've been talking to a lot of people, and they're like, yo, this is an opportunity for you to maybe get a certificate, maybe do some online joint, like if you know what I'm saying, like a hustler never sleeps. We stay woke because we got to feed mouths. You know what I'm saying? Our first, we're first included. You know what I mean? All right, let me stop preaching. As we always do in the Know Thyself podcast, we ask guests to bring in something that's coming out of their show. What you pulling out from your show?
Right here.
Flat out, yo.
That was big for me, man. You know, to
you looking dapper, my dude, with the suit. That's what I'm saying. But you stay fly, man.
Yeah,
we stay with the flash.
Definitely. But this right here is definitely a big. This represents growth, you know, transition, and you know, I'm so happy I took this step. You know, it wasn't easy. It's something different than what I was used to. A lot of learning, you know, but it's beautiful. I mean, you know, you need a challenge. That's the only way you grow. You know what I'm saying? So this is it right here, man.
That's beautiful. You know what that is? It's growth. It's evolution. Man.
Yes.
We just like the planet, man. We got to be constantly evolving and looking for that next step in our life. And I think this really speaks to that. That's dope, yeah. Yo, as we always do, to close us off, before I do, is with a quote. But I want to say, my brother, I'm so proud of you, yo.
Thank you, brother. Likewise.
We alive. We here. We're doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get a dope crib, holla at my boy. And I really mean that. Get a crib, get a property, invest. Family, please do not buy dumb stuff. Invest in great stuff, the long term. I know we live in a culture of like, we live in life right now. Let's pop like tomorrow I'm gonna live. Yeah, that's
don't regret it later on.
Yeah, don't like actually wake up the next morning and like, oh, I'm still alive. I can still do this? Yeah, you can. Yeah. To close us off, I have a quote, and I've been really forgetting lately to put the name of the person, so forgive me. So I'm gonna say anonymous. So as we always do, we close with a quote, Jack. So this one reads as such, and I think it's very fitting. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow.
Just like that, man.
Facts. Peace, family.
Peace.
Ah!